Welcome to Uzbekistan and the third and final day of competition at this year's Tashkent Grand Prix. Tashkent is Central Asia's hub and the place where everything in Uzbekistan happens. The nation's capital is rich in history and tradition, whilst at the same time displaying the signs of its Soviet past alongside strikingly modern structures. We're here for this, the latest leg of the IJF Judo World Tour, and we're going to begin this final block with the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 90 kilo category. This features Fraser Chamberlain of Great Britain. He'll be up against Ivan Vorobev of Russia. It'll be Chamberlain the white judogi and Vorobev in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Ioana Babiuk of Romania. And with commentary on this and all this afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Kusat-Dol. Good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Sheldon. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting match this time. And what really I'm looking forward to seeing is if Chamberlain can really push it just that little bit closer to that medal. He was a 5th in Cancun. In Agadir, he was 7th. The last time he was on that podium was in Tunisia, where he was a bronze medalist there. But he's up against a tough opponent that's just got that little bit more physical and maturity about him. He got a gold in The Hague and was in Rio back in 2013 was a bronze medal in the World Championship. So someone that definitely has got some pedigree about him and some real depth of judo experience.
Lost out in the semi-final to Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan, who we'll see in the final. He defeated the former world champion Nemanja Majdov of Serbia in round 2. So Vorobev proving the strength that the Russians have got in depth at this weight category. They had Hussein Kalmuzaev in here as well.
Well, there was definitely some quality athletes in the under 90 kilos. There's no doubt about it. And for these athletes to get to this point is a really good achievement, and more so some valuable Olympic qualification points to be gained. If neither thought each other throughout the time on the World Tour, so this will be an unknown entity for them. But both Chamberlain and Vorobev takes a Shido now in the first minute of this competition. Vorobev comes in with the Ouchigari, but that hip sneakily comes through with a switch of direction, looking for a forward attack. He's got a very strong right hand grip around the left side of Chamberlain. Chamberlain blocks in with the left hand on the lapel, tries to keep a distance between him and his opponent. As we know, the Russians like that up close personal engagement where they can get the real lifts, such as the Uranagi's big, powerful lifting techniques, which makes them very, very dangerous. Chamberlain leaves that foot astride there. Vorobev catches for the Kosota, stumbling Chamberlain down to the ground, who picks up his second Shido now. And we've just come past the halfway mark. So for Chamberlain, he really has to change slightly the tactics that he came into this contest with. Draws down on the sleeve, starts working on those feet. Chamberlain with a slight height advantage over his opponent. Not sure whether that makes much of a difference for him, but to be able to reach over the top, which he tends to favour a grip with, but it's just getting that at the moment. It comes round the back, he gets that lift to the Kosota, yes! Oh, so close. there on the edge of the contest area. There was an opportunity lost there for Chamberlain.
Well, I'll tell you what, Loretta Kusador was talking about how the Russians like to be up close.
But definitely Chamberlain was on the upper hand of that one. But
yeah.
Nice move. He clambered over the top. And really, yes. The Oso Tagari there. Vorobev returning with a very strong attack there to the rear. He gets the high collar grip, draws Chamberlain's head down. Well, Chamberlain has to really try and get that released. It's not looking very good, 2 hands off his opponent. Really a little bit vulnerable at that particular time and gets slightly frustrated. And I think really that exchange and that negativity of turning his back means that he will pick up the third, possibly third and final Shido now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because there wasn't a great deal that he could do to get out of that. It wasn't as though it wasn't as though he really wanted to escape the exchange. He wanted to escape that particular awkward situation. The only way of getting out of it was to duck underneath, and unfortunately, they said that is an infringement.
Yes, well, he ducked under. That if he hadn't any other Shidos on the board, yes, you would say it's the only way he could have worked at it. But when you've picked up 2 Shidos, you really then walk in a fine line.
Ivan Vorobev of Russia picks up the first of this final block medals, a bronze medal in the under 90 kilo category. Good effort from Chamberlain. He was the one who really threatened there with that bear hug. Koso Tagaki almost got turned.
Oh, it was so close, wasn't it? It was a great gutsy attempt there, just on the edge of the contest area. Clambered over the top, but the Russian just managed to lose and gain a little bit of space to avoid being thrown there. But sadly, again, a 5th place for Chamberlain. Again, so close, still not on that podium.
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 90 kilo category. Edward Trippel of Germany faces Michael Ursula of Turkey. It'll be Trippel in the white judogi, Ursula in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Oliver de Roses of France.
Well, when you look at the world ranking, 19 to 102. But Ursula, for me, you can't write this athlete out. He has had a great performance here today, quite an exciting judo athlete. And the Turkish themselves in general as a team have done extremely well today, so shown some great performances throughout the day and throughout the weekend. So they're obviously doing something right out there, and it'll give them a lot of confidence based on these performances and how close they get into the medal situation. Trippel, for me, highlighted him at the beginning of the day, 5th in the World Championships, Junior World Championships, in the World Championships, I should say, in Baku this year, and at the Junior World Championships bronze medal last year. So definitely someone that's hitting all targets for his age. Great potential for the German team. Be looking try and get this young man qualified for the Olympic Games. I'm sure his goals are set on there with the Ouchigari he comes in for. Both opting for a high collar grip, attempting to draw each other's head down. Osler coming in with the Kouchigari, stumbles his opponent backwards. Attempts to follow through into the Niwaza, but very little on option there for him. So very strong defenses from the German. Coming in now to 3 minutes to go in this contest. Still no score. Some good attacks so far from both athletes. Both opting for very strong high collar grips, really testing out the strengths of each other. Both very similar styles, competitive styles, both using their feet quite cleverly to try and get the opening that they require for the bigger attack. But here we have the start of the Shidos, which is not always a good thing. Osler with the Shido now has to, well, it was an attempt of Sutemi Waza, and very little was coming from the German off that. So although he did try to claim it, it was more control than actual attack. Oslo looking a little bit uncomfortable there as he caught his arm up there. Was rubbing that slightly. Hopefully that won't affect him. Nuchimata, Sumigeshi attempt there to follow through. Two nice combining techniques from the German as we're in the halfway mark now. Deep on the belt, the Ouchigari, then come round the back, the hips come through. Ending up with the Tewaza move, drawing his opponent down into the ground. Now, Triple, very strong in his Niwaza. We've seen him defeat one or two of his opponents down in the ground quite successfully.
David Asambani, the Turkish coach, was just warning Ursula off a particular grip and saying, look, leave that one alone, it's not working. Whether he will be able to heed that warning, I don't know, but I wouldn't have thought it was that difficult. If you've got a plan and your coach tells you, leave that one alone,
yes,
you tend to go with him.
Yeah, well, they tend to most probably have plan 1, plan A, and then plan B. And it's most probably now, this way of the game, it's going into plan B. The Osoda Makokomi comes into play this time. He catches that arm. He's trying to work it through for the turnover now.
Not going to happen.
No, not against Triple. He's very strong in the ground. But there you have the Harai twisted across through to the Osota into the Makokomi.
Good thought process. Ursula was doing
nice
everything
little bit
right.
of move, yeah. Nice movement. He's got good feel of judo. He knows exactly where the right angle to try and get the optimum area to be able to throw. He comes through once more. He's flat on his back there. Tries to get the arm out, but just at a very poor angle there. Very little leverage on that arm.
Yeah, you're waiting too long, he said.
Richard Troutman trying to give him some sound advice with a short period of time that he has within the mate situation. This is where coaches have got to be so quick and precise in what they're looking for. Not always an easy job.
Richard Troutman just wanting a little bit more tempo from Edouard Triple. They're just trying to tell him you're taking that little bit too long.
Yeah, try and psych him up,
yeah.
get him into going up to into phase 2, just changing the pace slightly. It's been a real battle with the high collar grips there. So he draws down on that arm, comes across with a high collar. Oh, nicely controls. And Triple takes the bronze medal. You thought he would have won the Olympic Games the way he reacted there. Well, it meant so much to him to take that bronze medal. Absolutely delighted with himself.
It's perfectly possible that Edouard Triple is turning to Richard Troutman and saying, that's what I was waiting for. Because he did wait for him. He reacted to that.
Well, this is where you can see how young the lad is that all those emotions just spilt out there at that one time when he knew he had it in the bag.
Just seemed as though he was ready for that attack from Ursula.
Definitely all the emotions have just released there in one go. It's reduced him to tears, but tears of joy as he takes the bronze medal here in Tashkent Grand Prix 2018. God love him. Well, well, here you have the Ouchigari, but the Kosota and Tewaza movement, the upper body control, just changing, really good feel in his judo. Totally understood his own body awareness and how to break up his opponent's balance. He waited for it. He actually fed him the Ouchigari, I feel. He was ready to pounce. Just that crucial moment there. Nice. He had that sleeve, he had the high collar again, that grip that he never really let go of. He was persevering with the high collar grip and the sleeve, a very traditional style, but it literally looked as if he fed him the Ouchigari.
Now, the referee standing in the middle there is Vladimir Nutsabidze. Unfortunately, one of the competitors who was due to take part in the final, Tot Christian of Hungary, cannot. So Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan comes out to take the bow, and he will take the gold medal in the absence of Tot Christian, who had to withdraw from the competition through injury. Shame that. Would have liked to have seen that matchup.
It would have actually been really a good match, wouldn't it? And as you can see, a lot of support there for the Azerbaijan.
Right, coming up next to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 78 kilo category. Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia faces Beata Pakut of Poland. It'll be Dmitrieva in the white judogi, Pakut in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Artur Fando of Belarus.
Well, Dmitrieva, 31 years of age, in Agadir this year, bronze medal in the Masters last year, 5th place, along with a 5th in The Hague. And Tashkent, this time last year, was a bronze medalist. Well, she'll be wanting to retain that positioning, but she's up against the silver medalist of last year, which is going to be a very tall order indeed. This young lady from Poland, a bronze medal in the under-23 European Championships back in 2016. Is a very experienced athlete with a lot of exposure on this, at this level of competition, where in Abu Dhabi, a bronze medal this year, but just was on the outside of the podium with a 5th place in Cancun and a 7th in Budapest. Oh, well, Pakut there just dropped onto her knees. I'm not quite sure what she was trying to attempt there. Dmitrieva, that sort of physical maturity is most probably what's keeping her at bay at the moment. 31 years of age, Pakut 22, so there's quite a few of judo experience years under her belt. As we know, Russians come from a long line of successful athletes. Well, a very strong, powerful gripping style there from Dmitrieva. Draws her opponent, and Pakut really is trying to come in for what looks to be like a Sianagi, but all she is doing is getting that shoulder in and no more, and it looks like each time it's a false attack. So a Shido apiece at this moment. But this time Pakut has got a high collar grip. She draws the head down. She's got control of that sleeve. She comes in with the Uchimata, and beautifully executed there. Almost a score, but nevertheless a great attack and a good start now for Pakut, who at this moment was really struggling up until that point. Well, she knows what she needs to do now. The high collar grip, draws the head down once more, tries to repeat what we've just seen already.
Into the last half of the contest, both fighters have picked up a penalty apiece. Nothing in this.
An attempt of a Sutemiwaza there. Got the movement. Again, another nice attack from Pakut. Now the accumulation of the Shidos are coming on to Dmitrieva. 2 Shidos now that she has. She's got the high collar, she draws the head down. But drawing the head down is classed as being as negative if you're not going to use it as an attack, but crushes her to the ground. Very little technical expertise in that, really, other than the real good, strong kumikata.
Beata Pakut is quite lucky that Dmitrieva matched her as far as a lack of technical ability is concerned, because she should have taken the advantage of that going to ground. Pakut went there without any real kind of pace. Dmitrieva should have seen that coming in before she even landed and finished off going to ground. Dmitrieva should have been looking to get past the legs and put some pressure on the ground. Never happened.
No. It was very slow transition down. You could see it, you could read what was happening, and they failed to capitalize on it.
Pakut flirting with the contest area again. Spends a lot of the time on the edge of the competition area. Unnecessarily so, I think.
Yes.
You know, she's in no real threat from Dmitrieva as far as anything on the ground. Why wouldn't you spend more time in the middle?
Well, she's trying to get the rotation over here, but Dmitrieva staying very strong. Quite defensive in the Niwaza. This Russian, which is, I'm very surprised, really hasn't really engaged in the Niwaza. And it's unusual for the Russians not to. They tend to have very strong groundwork. Uchimata once more. Uchigari in the return from Dmitrieva. She's got the head, high collar grip, draws the head back down. She's looking to try and get a reaction. And the reaction is to get that head to be pushed back up, which means if she tries to pull back off it, her weight goes onto her heels. And the Osotogari, the Uchigari, those sort of type of techniques are there, open there for Dmitrieva.
Into golden score. 2 penalties picked up by Dmitrieva, 1 by Pakut. It's Dmitrieva who is at the disadvantage here in the golden score period.
Strong sleeve grip. She comes round the back, traps that head once more. Shows the hip as she tries to enter with the Ouchigari. Dmitrieva could have doubled up there. She had her opponent on the edge. Didn't really take advantage of that situation, especially with a controlling grip. Pakut comes over there once more. She gets that high collar grip. She throws the leg in. 2 very dangerous moves we've seen from Pakut that was so close. Left hand in on that lapel from Pakut, trying to keep her opponent at bay, but decides to come round the back for a change here now. Was looking to leverage her opponent back on a counter. But Dmitrieva playing a very dangerous game as they work on the edge of the contest area. She steps out. She's got 2 Shidos already, but there's the stepping out, but this time it's Pakut that does it.
Well, that's what I was saying, you know, Pakut flirts with the competition area on a regular basis. There's no need for it. There's no threat from Dmitrieva in Newaza.
No, definitely not.
You may as well stay in the middle, because if your Newaza is any better than Dmitrieva's, you've got a chance.
The right high collar grip drawn deep onto the back. But Dmitrieva just collapses, which I'm very surprised considering that she had a very, very strong controlling grip.
Yeah, we'll need to get rid of that a little bit further. Some shin protection just being shedded by Dmitrieva.
High collar grip. Turns the hip in slightly, looking for the Osoto overstretches. Osoto Ouchigari. Again, a couple of attacks there, luring them both towards the edge of the contest. It's like a magnet from the edge of that contest area. Both seem to be homing towards the edge most of the time here.
She's not really determined with those hip technique efforts, Pakut. It's just almost like a little bit of a, shimmy, isn't it?
Yeah, you know? It's just a bit of a shimmy on it. Showing it, but no more.
And
threatening it, but...
It's not as though Dmitrieva is the, the greatest speedster on the circuit. You know, Pakut can get past the defense and get in there to attack her.
Oh, yes, what a
close.
throw, yeah. Oh, well, that was a very... Well, when Pakut really does start, she's had 3 very, very strong. 2 Uchimatas, that Kosota Gaki that we've just seen there. Now, there's some really good attacks. She's shown glimmer of what she's capable of doing.
Just didn't have the top half to pull Dmitrieva down. Again, another little Yoko Sutemiwaza effort, but
I wasn't sure whether it was a Sutemiwaza or she was doing a Sasai. She just lost full control of her own body and had very little power to generate through the attack.
Well, it looks as though it was enough to count as a valid attack, and with that and a couple of others that Pakut has had, it looks as though Dmitrieva is going to pick up a third Shido, and that'll be the end of her chance of a bronze medal. It'll be Pakut of Poland who takes this one on the back of 3 penalties picked up by Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia. Is indeed a 3rd penalty picked up by Dmitrieva. Disappointment for the Russian fighter. Beata Pakut can leave reasonably happy. I think she came in here as the number 3 seed. Yes. So lived up to expectation then.
Well, it might not have been a repeat of last year with the silver medal, but it's definitely a place on the podium for Pakut. So she'll be delighted with that, and what comes with it? Olympic points.
Absolutely. We've got the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 78 kilo category coming up now. Karen Leon of Venezuela faces Luisa Malzahn of Germany. It's Leon in the white judogi, Malzahn in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Raul Camacho of Spain. Well, there's been a good crowd in every day for this competition. The Uzbek organizers have done well and not just been able to put, some bodies in the arena, but also they're all judo people. They all really enjoy their judo here.
Yeah, definitely. Very knowledgeable, there's no doubt about it. Karen Leon, 20 years of age. 2nd in the Continental Championships and a bronze medal last year in Cancun. Youngster that's coming through from Venezuela and fitting in quite nicely as one of the contenders here on this World Tour. Malzahn obviously a lot more experience under that belt, Abu Dhabi this year, was 7th place. She just seems to be hitting the sort of top 7 spots and picking up 5th and 7th. And the Haag last year was a bronze medalist and a 5th in the Olympic Games in 2016 in Rio. Strong athlete, a lot of experience, which gives a slight advantage here coming into this bronze medal contest.
Just the one single slip.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest. Well, it was a really big disappointment, wasn't it? Because it was a silly, silly error, wasn't it, as well? One of these sort of transition periods of going from tachiwaza into niwaza and getting held down. It was unbelievable. Well, the hip comes in there. She gets the arm round, but she doesn't actually transfer the hip forward.
She was leading by Wazari at the time when she fell over to Loriana Kuka of Kosovo.
Yep.
We'll see Lori in the final.
Who, by the way, has had a great performance here today.
I'd say. There's another chance.
Hip throw. Came right in nice and deep there. Didn't get the score, but definitely has got a position of punishing her opponent down in the niwaza. As she goes for the shimiwaza, she's got that leg. She starts working. The hips need to start twisting if she's connected around the under the chin. The fact that her opponent looks too comfortable means that I don't think it was anywhere near. Well, that was more of a harai.
Yeah, she's had a couple of good attacks so far, Louisa Maltzahn. Just showing that she's, you know, probably, I like to say it, but probably in the best form that she's been in since 2016.
As well as physically looking so strong out there, she looks mentally strong. It was a hardened sort of approach in her contest. A sort of stern look that could burn through and over the top. Yeah, a nice counter there. It takes her with a score on the board. Now, not one for talking too early, because we did that the last time and we had this situation that she was leading with a wazari and it just went all horribly wrong for her.
Well, the thing that's going to happen here now is Karen Leon has to open up. She's only got a minute 20 odd left to go, so she really needs to, you know, get back into this. This will offer up Louisa Maltzahn another opportunity. Once Leon gets going, she should have more opportunities for scoring, Maltzahn.
She's trying desperate to get that arm over the top of Maltzahn, but maybe not the wisest thing to do. That's, nice. Beautifully done there.
That's a shame.
That was the referee too quick to react on that one.
If he was going to call mate for some kind of shido or something, then yeah. But I didn't see an end to that. Maybe there was something that happened before that we missed. But
I don't know. Just thought it was very quick, considering that there is scores from that transition period of coming back up. You can score. We know that. We've seen so many contests being won over the months, but just felt it was just a very quick call for her.
Well, perhaps he felt that both players were in niwaza for a moment and called mate at that time. Anyway, it's gone now. 20 odd seconds left to go.
Maltzahn, very strong gripping style. She controls that sleeve quite nicely. Has the hand on the, well, the referee just felt just too strong in her gripping, too defensive, and more of a negative grip than actually engaging.
I think I might be doing the same thing.
Yeah, would as well. No doubt about it. She'll be quite happy to take it and take the bronze medal as well with it.
Well, we come back to that single slip that she made against Loriana Kuka. That could have been the difference between, well, certainly her being in the final,
yes,
and a step closer toward her goal. However, as we've seen with a number of fighters this weekend, coming away with a medal is really important. You can see that from her reaction there. She was the number 4 seed. She's finished up with a bronze medal, done what it said, you know, on the tin, if you like, you know, and she's come away with a bronze medal.
And whether it makes a difference or not, she's higher up in this competition than her teammate Wagner as well.
That is also something worth taking into consideration. Although I did hear that Anna Maria Wagner had a throat infection earlier in the week, which laid her low for 2 days, and the coaches were saying, you don't have to fight. And she said, no, I'm going to give it a go anyway. So she was definitely under the weather, Anna Maria Wagner.
Well, she came in for that harai, but you could see that arm that was just cupped around the head, bringing no leverage to that attack. Left herself so exposed and vulnerable on the supporting leg. Left it wide open there to capitalize on it, and Malzen did.
We come now to the final of the under 78 kilo category. Loriana Kuka of Kosovo faces Bernadette Graf of Austria. It'll be Kuka in the white judogi, Graf in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Yevgeny Rakinin of Russia. Here's Loretta.
Well, Graf has a few ippons under her belt more than her opponent, but when it comes to world ranking, there's only one position between them. Age, there is slight maturity there for Graf, but there is a lot of experience on both sides if you look at the results. 2018 under 23 European champion Kuka of Kosovo, and Bernadette Graf, 26 years of age, a little bit more maturity. The European has 3 bronze medals in the European Championships. She got 5th place last year in Tashkent and a 5th in the Olympic Games. So it's going to be a very interesting match. Someone that has obviously got the ability to be potentially a really strong candidate for the Kosovo team. Makes her debut here in this final of the under 78s. One that went slightly under the radar. I think with this one, our focus was so much on the number 1 seed coming into the competition.
The difficulty for Kuka, even, well, in almost every contest that she faces, is that her lack of experience at this kind of level. It's a gold medal contest in a Grand Prix, you know, although she has been there once before, hasn't she? Kuka. Some of the Austrian team watching on. Filzmerzer, Kasakova and Unterwürzacher. No doubt supporting
the Austrians
Graf.
have got a strong team, aren't they?
Michaela Polares is then the gold medalist from yesterday. Only 3 of them up there. Maybe she was just out with a shot or something. Maybe she had to warm her up.
Possibly.
Oh, gone over on that side. Good attack from
and she pounces
Kuka.
on her in the knee.
Why not? Why not? Yeah. Yeah, Kuka was the gold medal winner at the Antalya Grand Prix in April, so she's been here once before and come out on top.
Well, she's definitely someone that's got potential, and she's looking very strong out there at this moment.
Well, she's weathered the first half of the storm, half the contest gone, no score. Graf is the player who's picked up the single Shido.
Oh, she's trying to battle past the strong defences there. Good gripping skills from Kuka. Controlling her opponent quite nicely, but stays very strong, as you can see. A core strength. Yeah. She's really solid on her feet.
Well, she's the absolute perfect build for the under 78 kilo category.
Definitely, isn't she? She looks so good. So powerful. She draws across, showing, but she left herself a little bit vulnerable there for the counter, didn't she?
Well, she, you know, you can't get anything unless you risk something. And Kuka was the one who decided, I'll give it a go. Graf slightly more playing the waiting game, if you like, looking to counter. This is better from Graf here now.
Better, much better grip there, as you see. Controls over the top, draws her opponent in. Now she's looking for a little bit of a reaction from Kuka up there. Oh, but not that one. Definitely wasn't looking for that sort of reaction.
And as you say, the turn from Tachiwaza into Newaza from Kuka is very quick.
Pounces, doesn't she?
Quickly spun round, yeah. Good signs. That's some good signs from Loriana Kuka.
Well, a feisty couple out there, no doubt about it. Very aggressive in their gripping styles.
This is a good battle.
It is. It's very interesting. It's quite intense as well, isn't it? You're anticipating something big's going to happen. Someone's going to go.
The difficulty for Graf is just how quickly Kuka can learn. You know, sometimes it takes you a few months. Sometimes you can learn something in a session.
Yes.
Kuka gives you the impression that she's learning by the minute.
Yes. But she has a real physical maturity within her judo.
Good presence on the mat.
Real strong, sort of without being in a negative way, a sort of an air of arrogance of, I'm here and I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
It's like in your face.
There's a presence.
She's quite intimidating in a way. I think that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, there's the expectation, I suppose, that Kuka could give away a bit of physical immaturity. That hasn't been the case here.
No, definitely hasn't.
She stood up well to someone who's X number of years older than us, 6 or 7.
But sometimes you think when you go back your own years, you used to think with someone of that much older and you go, they're old. A youngster would say that, or they're really old.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might as well retire now, they're too old. Kochiga.
Yes!
Oh!
That is it!
Oh! What a throw! Well, although Bernadette Graf was one of my top favourites there to get that gold position. Gotta give it to her. Kuka just took full onus of that. Kochigak, beautifully finished. And a gold medal for Kosovo.
Well, before we go on and celebrate a 3rd gold medal for Kosovo at this Grand Prix, Bernadette Graf can't look back on the outcome of her visit to Tashkent as a disappointment. She picked up a silver medal. She's back on the podium. Yep. That looks good. She could look at this particular contest and say, I should have taken this. You know, it's only a kid, you know, I could have done better. Yeah. Okay, that's a separate issue. Now we can start looking at Loriana Kuka. What a result for her.
Oh, what a result.
An amazing
result.
Against someone of Graf's quality.
Well, she's got definitely, of her caliber, a quality athlete, a world-class athlete. And she throws like that in the bronze, in the final. Amazing.
I cannot now see anyone topping Kosovo on the medal table.
No. There'll be a lot looking to that young lady now.
That's amazing.
That's somebody
what a result.
that is a real contender.
Let's take a look at the awarding ceremony for the men now in the under 90 kilo category. The referees are being, sorry, the medals are being presented by the head refereeing director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Jan Schneiders. The first of the bronze medals goes to Edward Trippel of Germany. There's a bronze medal too for Ivan Vorobev of Russia. Silver medal goes to Todd Christian of Hungary, who unfortunately could not take his place in the final. The gold medal goes to Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan.
The prize money and the flowers will be presented by a member of the Executive Committee of the Judo Federation of Uzbekistan. Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
And now the national anthem of Azerbaijan. That last shot there was Aisha Gabanli from Azerbaijan, a youngster, absolutely terrific young talent from Azerbaijan. They don't produce a lot of women. It's not the biggest sport there for them. And just quickly on Loriana Kuka, that takes her up to 22 on the IJF World Ranking List. 18 qualify for the Games.
20 years of age.
However, there are 2 Russians, 2 Germans, 3 Dutch, 2 French and 4 Japanese in front of her.
Oh, right, so you take them out and she's right up
well
there.
She's in there, easily in there.
Crikey.
All looks good for Loriana Kuka. Injury-free, keeps going, she's going to Tokyo. We come to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 100 kilo category. Danilo Pantic of Montenegro faces Ramadan Darwish of Egypt. It'll be Pantic in the white judogi, Darwish in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Vyacheslav Peretyeko of Uzbekistan.
Well, there you have the crowd supporting.
Yeah, quite a few supporters here from Azerbaijan.
Well, Darwish, 30 years of age, quite a bit of maturity under his belt. 5th in the Olympic Games, 3rd place in Abu Dhabi.
Those supporters are getting ready for the entry into the arena of Elmar Gazimov.
Yes. Well, Darwish coming out with a great start with the Uchimata.
Pantic isn't backward either, is he? He may have bruised the inner thigh there. He found the body of Darwish so hard.
That was a hard hitting with that one.
He's one of the quietest fighters on the circuit, Darwish. Such a huge and strong guy, and he's very quiet.
Very quiet man. He's definitely not one that's in your face, is it really, as they would say. Darwish, left hand in the inside. It's a good positioning there for that Uchimata. He's got that sleeve as well. He's flirting with the idea at the moment, but as you can see, Panic also looking for the counter and the option out. Deep concentration there of Darwish as he once more gets that dominant left hand in the inside. Also has the sleeve grip. Looks quite controlling from this angle. You see the hands all heavily bandaged up there. Years of constant wear and tear on the grips. It's played its part in.
Wonder how much money you must spend on tape.
It must cost him a fortune. He'll definitely not get a job as a hand model anyway.
Maybe you can get some sponsorship from
anybody
tape
out there?
supplier, you know, Band-Aid or something.
Quite sure he most probably is.
He'd last the plast. Oh, he was lucky just to drag him at the end there.
Just got it at the end. At the beginning of that, I thought, Shido.
Yeah.
But he just managed to save himself on that one. Again, the very strong left hand in. Comes now left over onto the belt. Hips through. Oh, yes!
Well, he will score.
Yes, that's a score to Wazari. It could have so easily been upon if he managed to keep those hips in and didn't cross those feet. See the feet just crossing there, just lost his balance. It was more a fall than an actual lift.
Well, Pantic has had the warning. When he gets that arm around the back, you know where he's going.
And Pantic now tries to return the favour, but coming around the back himself, drawing on that shoulder, as you can see, head tucked into one side, pressurising the left shoulder. But there, Darwish coming in for an Uchimata into the Makakomi. There you have it. Oh. Again, both controlling quite nicely with the grips. I think this could be a Shido apiece. Yep. Just too defensive on the grips there. Darwish once more takes that left hand just high on the lapel as it creeps above onto the neck. He also has once more the controlling left sleeve. You just feel that he's setting it up. He's just waiting, and he can play a bit of a waiting game here at the moment. He's just not making any silly errors and not being rushed into doing anything at this moment. And at the moment, neither one of them. That was not a bad attack there from Pantic. Two very keen spectators out there. We know what they're waiting for. Well, seconds, and Darwish takes for Egypt the bronze medal.
Well, there are times when a player goes ahead, he just decides, okay, I've done enough here, and closes up shop.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair to Darwish, he had a couple of stabs at a few techniques after that, and then he thought, well, Pantic isn't giving out a great deal.
No.
You know, why should I? I'm going to,
Yeah.
you know, play a little bit defensive. I'll do enough to keep going. He picked up a single sheeter, but after that, that was it. So Darwish
Yes.
it is who takes the first of the bronze medals in the under 100 kilo category. We'll have a look at the highlights, and then we'll be back with the second. There's a long walk out for the athletes after they've finished, and they're quite close to the crowd. I mean, they're in touching distance, and Darwish is currently high-fiving and hand-slapping a lot of the youngsters and signing autographs and everything.
That's nice,
Why
isn't
not?
it?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, these kids have been so patient out here, and they're waiting for one match to come. That's their highlight for the day. There's one hope for them
They
here.
are indeed, yeah.
But
Won't
they're
have long to wait.
enjoying the moments. As
Well, there are two, actually. There's a bronze medal contest in the plus 100 kilo
Yes,
category.
that's right,
And
yeah.
then there's the gold medal match. So they've got a couple of
Yes, they've
bites
still
at the
got
cherry. They're
chance, yeah.
guaranteed one medal. They're definitely like, you know, to have two.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'd like to have a gold. But before any of that happens, we've got Karl Richard Frey of Germany. He's up against Joachim Dvaby of Sweden. It'll be Frey in the white judogi, Dvaby in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Friedrich Anna Maria of Hungary. There's Loretta.
Thank you. Well, Karl Richard Frey, 27 years of age, strong competitor, has had this year some great performances. And for me, he's an athlete that seems to be getting better each time we see him. He's oozing confidence more, and he's getting up there around the results. A European champion back in 2015, and Olympic fifth place in the Olympic Games in Rio 2016. This year alone, Abu Dhabi, bronze medal, in Budapest, a silver, and Agadir, a bronze. So this is someone that's very familiar to being on the final block and battling away for medals. Dvaby, 29 years of age, a couple of years senior to his opponent. In Hooihot, a bronze medal, and in The Hague last year was a silver medalist.
A dangerous thrower himself, was on the receiving end of a dangerous throw earlier on from
yes.
Alexander Idir of France, who we'll see in the final against Elmar Gazimov.
Oh, definitely was. That was what you call a real flying lesson he got there. It's actually a match I'm really looking forward to.
Won't be long now, Loretta. Next contest up. First minute out of the way, no score yet between Frey and Dvaby, and Frey unusually they're deciding not to get involved on the ground. He loves his Newaza. However, he knows that Dvaby is a little bit sharp down there himself.
Yeah.
So he thought, I'll leave that.
Oh,
I'll wait for a better opening.
That's a card he keeps in his pocket until now. And it'll pick his moment.
I suppose Martin Patrick is the Swede who's best known for his love of neowaza.
Mm.
No place for the tall Swede here this weekend. Not sure when we'll see him again, maybe in The Hague or Osaka. Frey takes a bit of a blow to the face. Devarby gives him a comforting hand on the shoulder, as if to say, I'm sorry about that, pal.
Yeah.
No harm done.
Sorry.
No doubt there'll be a hand slap. No, there isn't. They'll just get on with it. He's given him the pat on the back.
Yeah.
That's enough. Here we go again.
Well, it is a bit of a battle here. Who's going to get the first controlling grip? Neither one of them are having the full advantage of having the control. Devarby taking the lapel, a little bit of a pulling action just to get Frey's head bobbing up and down, trying to get a reaction from him as he comes through with the Sienagi on the same side lapel. Hips come through, seen a couple of times now. Devarby executing that technique. Frey going down into the neowaza, defending nicely there. Sounded like he was singing a song there. We'll have to get you, Sheldon, to give that bit of a translate. My nose is killing me of what you just said there.
Trying to give him some indication how to cope with Devarby's hand coming over, blocking that outside arm that he's talking about.
Well, if you can actually look at Frey, he really doesn't even have a grip at this moment. It's like a token gesture he's got on the sleeve, but there's no restrictions, no pulling action on it. There's no defense action. It's he's really playing caution to win it. It's straight off the contest pause. He fires in, and he's an opportunist out here at this moment. He's not actually setting up anything. He's got the high collar grip now at the moment, but again, it's swiftly taken away by Devarby. Draws the hand down. He gets the high collar grip, and then starts working the pace of the contest once more. He comes underneath. Oh, well, that was very, very close for Devarby. And upon Sienagi attempt the Osota. Oh, and Frey, his feet were just crossed over there. He really just had no control. And that's got to...
Only if his arms go down.
Well, if his arm went down,
him.
then, yeah, and I think that she's just going to double check.
He sits down on his backside. I can't remember seeing his arms go down. We'll have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It did. That's what I thought.
Well, one is definitely down.
He's down, there's no doubt about it, but that hand did assist him. Well, did it assist him really? It went down, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I think it's just a reaction. Yep. Was it a block? It wasn't a block. It was just a reaction, just to soften the blow of landing square in your bottom, I think. But what was dangerous, Frey's feet were so crossed. Well, he does well to rescue that. And we're now into golden score. Well, Frey with 2 Shidos. One more would result in a disqualification. Harsh, but he really has to stay totally engaged here. Cannot afford to make any mistakes now. Frey, oh, Tominagi. Frey totally dismisses that. Oh, an attempt of a Kosota. Frey span out of it. He reacted well. We're going to have another look at that. Oh, right. It'll be interesting to see that. It was very quick, wasn't it? So I'll leave judgment on it. Fry just trying to show him how he did it again. It was a reaction of Fry. He reacted well, but could he take ownership of it?
Yeah,
No.
in this instance, it's not clear, then no score.
If in doubt, given out, I would say.
Especially when both are claiming it. There must be some doubt as to whose it was. So, best thing.
It was a good defense. It was a good reaction from Fry. He comes in now for the Tomonagi, Yoko Tomonagi. The stomach throw. Well, this crowd now encouraging them all the way. Trying to step up the tempo. Stepping across. Uchimata. Oh, that was a deep connection there. And 1 minute, just over 1 minute into golden score now. So these athletes have been battling away here for... Oh, yes, there you have it. The sacrifice technique that brings home the bronze medal for Fry. Well, there was definitely no dispute in that one. Well, another bronze medal to add to the collection for Karl Richard Fry of Germany. He'll be delighted, but more importantly, another collection of qualification points.
Well, there's a little bit of uncertainty about, you know, one or two of the efforts in there, but in the end, Fry it was who came up with a good score. So we'll have a look at that on the highlights, and then we'll be back with the final.
Oh, he launched him, absolutely launched him on that. He waited, came in with the Seoinage, the hips were there, the arm came wrapped right round the back, leverage on the front part of the hip, and with that rotation, beautiful sacrificing technique there. On to the belt to the front.
Impressed the cameraman in the back there, didn't he?
He was saying, that's for you.
I hope he managed to take a picture of that. It was right in his lens.
And in his face, big style.
We come now to the final of the under 100 kilo category. Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan faces Alexander Idir of France. It'll be Gazimov in the white judogi, Idir in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Hyun Suk-hee of the Republic of Korea.
Well, looking on the head-to-head there, neither one of them have fought each other, so you've got here age 28 to 27. When you look at the statistics, there's really not much in it between them. The maturity is there for both sides, but what is apparent, Gazimov with some real quality results under his belt in times, with the Olympic silver medalist, Abu Dhabi silver, and at the Masters last year, 7th place. So somebody that has his feet firmly on a podium on a regular basis. But Idir of France, for me, has been the man of the tournament as far as textbook style judo. Beautiful techniques that he's displayed throughout the day. One in particular, the Ippon Seoinage, and the Sori that we saw, and one of them who's just taken a bronze medal, Fry could tell us all about.
Yeah, he threw Fry and Darwish
Yeah, well,
for Ippon.
definitely, and threw them well, as if they just were nothing. It was a
He's won all of his contests today by Ippon, by the way.
Koichigari, oh, he's got such lovely judo. It's just of its purest form. He connects with that left hand on the lapel. Left hand, he's got the left sleeve. He opens up. He moves so well onto the mat. He sets it up nicely. You can see the thought process going in, the pure feel of judo, the stylish efforts of this man. It's just unbelievable. It's just nice judo. And with Gazimo, you look at him and you just think, I just want to get hold of you and crush you. It's that sort of, let me get my grips on you. You some way feel that Gazimov could bear him into winning this match. A very physical approach in this contest. The seriousness of the man, quite intimidating, really, if you were that way inclined when you look at him. But Adair still playing his type of judo. It's flowing. He's feeling it out. He's creating some opportunities here for himself. He's trying to get the reactions possible. An overstretch of technique there from Gazimov. And Tomonagi attempt from Adair. Again, another newer technique that we haven't seen throughout. Oh!
That's it.
Well, there was a good throw there. Unfortunately, Adair just landed so awkwardly there on his head.
Adair is a little bit slow to get to his feet.
Well, it was a heavy hit he took on the top of his head.
Yeah, I think it has more to do with impact,
yes,
than you know, like dislocation or something along those lines. It looks more like an impact and a bit of a knockout. We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 78 kilo category. The first of the bronze medals goes to Luisa Malzahn of Germany. There's a bronze medal too for Beata Pakut of Poland. The silver medal goes to Bernadette Graf of Austria. The gold medal goes to Loriana Kuka of Kosovo. The medals were presented by the head sport director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Vladimir Bata. And now the national anthem of Kosovo.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and judoka. Fotosurat geçiş marasımı.
Maltzan and Pakut were the bronze medalists. The silver went to Graf, and it was Kuka who took the gold medal. And good news for Alexander Idir. After a couple of minutes, he was up on his feet, walked out of the competition hall under his own steam.
Yeah, and he looks like he's getting a lot of medical support there, just to keep an eye on him. So for anyone that's out there most probably concerned, as we all were, he's getting well looked after.
We come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the plus 78 kilo category. Sarah Adlington of Great Britain faces Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine. It's Adlington in the white judogi, Kalanina in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Ramzadin Saidov of Uzbekistan.
Well, this is going to be definitely a tough match for either one of these athletes. You've got Sarah Adlington, that was a 5th in the World Championships this year in Baku. And under her belt results so far was in The Hague a bronze medal, and Tashkent last year was a bronze medalist. She'll be wanting to repeat that performance, but she's going to have a tough order to do so. She's up against the Agadir Grand-Prix champion, gold medalist this year, and last year in Baku and Hoyhot medalled in both Grand Prix. So two tough ladies that are very familiar on being in the final block of these World Tour competitions. Well, it's not very often you see Adlington looking overshadowed by her opponent. Both very tall ladies, but Kalanina having that slight head advantage over her opponent. She's not taking too much advantage of that as she opts for, well, at that time, a sleeve grip. Comes in deep, hooks in with the Ouchigari. Well, the Ukraine takes the lead now. As we come into the 3rd minute. Well, it was a nice attack there, and Adlington did well to avoid a deeper attack on that. Adlington comes around the back, trapping the right arm on that right side. Well, she's got good hip throws from here, and she's got the big Oguruma as well, which we did see in the World Championships. It's a very strong attack. She works her on the edge of the contest area, looking quite strong out there in the controlling the Ukraine at the moment. She backs her up to the edge of the contest area. Ukraine comes over once more with the high collar grip, and as we know, very skillful with the ashiwazas, works the feet of Adlington. Well, both picking up a Shido apiece, but Kalanina obviously with a comfortable lead at this moment with the Wazari, and Adlington got it all to do. Again, a Wazari is set upon.
Well, that's really a case of where Adlington is in the process of thinking of attacking the feet, which is what Billy Cusack was saying, you know, attack the feet. She's going backwards, and Kalanina says, okay, I'll just go with you. You'll see that in the slow motion, although it fairly looked as though it was in slow motion. Kalanina, a huge smile on her face. Why not?
Yeah. Good win for Ukraine. A very convincing win with two Wazaris for a Wazari Aseti upon, both with the Ouchigari, nicely executed. And sadly, Adlington didn't learn the lesson the first time and got caught for the Wazari Aseti upon second time round.
I can see what Sarah Adlington's thinking there. She gets attacked with the Ouchigari and she thinks, okay, I can sit down here and, you know, and use this to sweep. It's not on. She still has to fight off the Ouchigari before she can think about, you know, countering it, and it doesn't happen.
Nice technique there, though. What a change of reaction. Came in, showed the hip for a forward attack with the Uchimata possibly. Lured her right into a false sense of security, swinging back and hooking in with the Ouchi. Nice combination.
Yeah, nice turn. Yeah.
So much emphasis on the forward attack that Adlington didn't see the fear and sat back, bracing the forward attack, leaving herself wide open for a technique that she'd already been caught with.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests. Ksenia Chibisova of Russia faces Marina Slutskaya of Belarus. It'll be Chibisova in the white judogi, Slutskaya in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia.
Well, definitely two athletes that I didn't expect to see in the bronze medal match. And both battle away. Well, Slutskaya came into the competition as the #1 seed. A gold medalist in Abu Dhabi, a gold in Tunisia, and European champion back in 2017. Definitely a great track record, this young lady, in the plus 78 kilo category. Chibisova from Russia in Cancun was a bronze medalist, and also back in 2000 took a bronze medal in Tokyo in the Grand Slam. So both very strong athletes, but down on paper and current form at this particular moment, Slutskaya, you would say, has the edge.
This would be disaster for Slutskaya if she loses here. You know, to go from top spot to
she was flying, wasn't she? She was riding the wave of success for such a long time, and there's just maybe one too many at this moment. Needs to take a little bit of time out. Your form has got to start falling down before you can start picking it back up. That periodization program really has to be looked at, because she's not hit the mark here, and that possibly it wasn't one that she was looking for, other than gaining some international points and just competition just to keep her ticking over. Maybe this is something that's not in the program, and she'll accept whatever she gets. It's not the big picture for her, but still, it's a for everybody else, your expectations is set so high when you see an athlete perform so well. And she's not one of the biggest athletes in this weight division. Upon Sianagi, she attempts there. When under the resistance, she tried to change it slightly to go to the rear. Chibisova slightly taller than her. She looks quite a strong-looking athlete, doesn't she, the Russian? Very powerful looking, but just doesn't seem to have that real aggression under her belt.
Yeah, finding that combination of physical presence and the emotional power from which to deliver that kind of aggression that you're talking about is escaping a number of the heavyweights.
Yes.
A few of them come out to be gentle giants.
Yeah, you see a lot of it. You see it all the time in something like the 48 kilos. They're little pocket rockets, as I call them. They're little powerhouses, but they've got such grit and determination in their judo. Where they miss out in the physical power, they bring with the mental approach and the mental hardness in their judo. And it's the complete reverse with a lot of heavyweights. It just seems to be a time you have to just wait for as age matures them nicely.
Minute 20 left to go. No score as yet. Chibisova picked up a Shido, as has Slutskaya.
Slutskaya there trying to use the feet to unbalance her opponent. She's also showing the Sienagi in the Koichi combination techniques. Not really having much of an impact on her though. And there you can see quite obvious that the Russian coach is more or less saying, transition, get in there in the niwaza. There was the shimiwaza available for you. Stop looking at her. Well, she was riding that Sienagi attempt of Slutskaya's.
Second Shido picked up by Chibisova now. 30-odd seconds left to go.
Well, as an athlete, how you would long for a pair of legs like that to be able to get those uchimatas, hogarumas, and the big osotogaris to reach through. And we're not seeing any of that from the Russian.
For those of you that don't know, Loretta's speaking from the position of being 5'2". I can't speak for much. I'm only 5'6", so we both envy those long limbs.
I know.
How they would have come in handy.
Oh gosh, I'd look very awkward though, and I definitely wouldn't have made the weight. Well, we're now into golden score, and the Russian has the 2 Shidos on the board. One more would result in the hand sokimaki. Slutskaya was one of the first to pick up the Shidos.
We just learnt Xenia Chibisova's nickname there. Susha. I'll call her that when I see her next. Left-sided effort from Slutskaya, blocked by Chibisova as we have the first 20 seconds of golden score. It's Chibisova's turn to come back with something. You don't get a lot of time in the golden score period.
No. When she comes round the back, Chibisova tries to block it, but again, it's a block. It's not an attack. She needs to be first. But Slutskaya comes in. She's got that arm lock and it's there.
Yep.
Well, they're a very positive finish.
No, Slutskaya that little bit more clever than Chibisova. Didn't see that coming, Chibisova. A threat on the ground. Fifth place finish for the Russian. Slutskaya, however, salvages something from here by finding herself on the podium 2 weeks in a row.
Yep,
or
definitely.
at least with a week in between, you know.
It's being consistent, and that's the most important thing when it comes to racking up these medals and these points and Olympic qualification places. That's what's the important thing.
Chibisova won't turn down a fifth place finish.
No, definitely not.
She's not
All the placings are very important, and they will be crucial for next year in lead up to the countdown, as we seem to get closer and closer and talk more and more about Tokyo 2020. It just seems like it's on our doorstep before we know it.
Let's have a look at the finish to this one, and then we'll be back with the final.
Well, great transition, as you can see there. And really a weird exchange in that arm lock.
Well, that is wacky gatami then.
Yeah. Yes.
Executed on the ground where it should be.
Yeah. Full control on that shoulder, and it was definitely just on that arm. Possibly really on the tricep there as well, would have been very uncomfortable.
We come now to the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Caroline Weiss of Germany faces Irina Kinzerska of Azerbaijan. It'll be Weiss in white and Kinzerska in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Jefferson Vieira of Brazil. Here's Loretta.
Well, Weiss, as we can see on the head-to-head, has beaten her opponent. And I believe the last time these two had fought was in August in Budapest. I'm quite sure you had looked in a bit further and seen that they had actually competed 3 times.
That's right, yeah.
So
how many did you have?
They said it only had 1 on the statistics there.
I could go back and have another look, but I'm sure it says 3. I can tell you which ones they were as well.
Well, it'd be surprising if it was only 1, considering how long these 2 athletes have been on the world circuit at this level, and that they haven't actually come across each other more than just once. But there's a possibility, but I'm quite sure that Sheldon, who looks in very deep on things like this, is, my money's on you, Sheldon, of getting that one right. Both trying to control with the strong gripping powers, and as you can see, Kinzerska, slightly bigger than her opponent, has the sort of weight advantage coming into this contest, but Weiss technically is a little bit sharper when it comes to getting that opportunity, when she gets the opportunity, I should say, to react. But at this moment, just seems to be playing a very power game out there, and some part of me feels that she really needs to now start opening up a little bit more and trying to create a bit of a balance being broken for Kinzerska, because you're playing into the strengths of the Azerbaijan. She'll not want to be moving too fast.
I can clarify why it is that it will look as though they've only fought once, when really they fought 3 times. Kinzerska had previously represented Ukraine.
Oh, right.
And they'd gone head-to-head twice when she fought for Ukraine, and once since she's changed to Azerbaijan.
Oh, right. Well, there was a little glimmer of hope there with the Ouchigari, but Weiss really needs to play her game out here. She's toe-to-toe with her opponent. She is battling against power and weight. And the only way you're going to break that down is start moving around the tatami. Getting the Azerbaijan light up on her feet. Well, the German, deep in concentration, tries to block that leg coming across. The Azerbaijan uses the weight behind it, drawing that shoulder across her opponent. Well, you can see the German coach really trying to get his athlete to move a little bit more around her opponent, get those feet coming forward, get the Azerbaijan to start Kinzerska, high collar grip, draws her onto the edge of the mat and sort of piles not only her size, but that weight. Well, Vine's picking up the second Judo, and really, she's not played a clever game out here with this athlete. She's really playing it into the strengths of the Azerbaijan.
Well, it's not as though Weiss has not been up against her before. We know that they've gone head-to-head on 3 occasions, and on each occasion, Weiss has come out the winner. The only thing I can think about here is that as the contest goes on, Weiss has a better chance of coming up with a throwing technique, and maybe that's part of, not the ploy.
Possibly she doesn't want tactics to come into this is just let it run.
Let it go, you know, she's not going to get thrown here.
But the problem is she's picking up
the 2 penalties,
two Judos there, and that's piled a lot more pressure on her.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, Chigari attempt there.
Because Kinzerska looks as though she's playing the waiting game as well. She doesn't really fancy having a go at Weiss. Maybe she's gone over on a couple of occasions to her before and has decided, I don't want to end up getting thrown again.
Kinzerska, for me, she seems to be playing the better game here.
She has done. You know, there's no reason why you shouldn't give Kinzerska a penalty for passivity and Weiss a penalty for passivity.
And there you have
it. And she's outfoxed her, if you like. Yeah, sorry about that, she says, the way I took it. But, you know, that
I've been on the receiving end of your throws before.
So I'm not doing it, not playing it that way.
Not always the most attractive matches, but at the end of the day, you sometimes don't remember the match, you just remember the result, and that's what we see on paper.
The only thing I've got to say about that, for those of you that are watching at home and think, well, that was, you know, not the most attractive, there are plenty of times when you watch a football match and it's 0-0 and it ends on penalties.
Yes, that's it.
It's not unknown.
You
know, it happens.
Obviously, 2 athletes that know each other so well, but for someone that was on the receiving 3 times of losing, and to turn that round, she's done well.
Yeah, she had to change tactics. Yeah. Right. We come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 100 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the IJF referee and supervisor, Kathy Fleury.
International Judo Federation World and Olympic Champion, Mrs. Kathy Fleury. Bronze medalists are, for Germany, Karl Richard Frey.
The first of the bronze medals goes to Karl Richard Frey of Germany. There's a bronze medal too for Ramadan Darwish of Egypt.
Silver medalist representing France, Alexander Idir.
The silver medal goes to Alexander Idir of France. I'm glad to see that he's on the podium, rather gingerly putting it around his neck there, taking care of him.
So delicate, wasn't she? She's such a lovely lady.
But the gold medal goes to Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan. Good to see Alexander Idir on the podium.
Yes.
And, you know, with mobility, I think it was an impact and a bit of a, you know, knockout rather than the more dangerous possibility of, you know, sprain or neck injury. Mercifully. Thank very much, because it looked pretty bad. Bit sore and a bit stiff, but
tomorrow you'll most probably feel the impact
that neck
on
brace
that.
on, won't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
And now the national anthem of Azerbaijan. Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan, the gold medal winner in the under 100 kilo category. Karl Richard Frey and Ramadan Darwish were the bronze medalists. Alexander Ider of France took the silver. Wasn't necessarily in that order, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we know what you mean. And so do they out
That's
there.
the
They
right
know
order.
exactly
There
where
you
they
go.
are. Gazimov, Ider, Darwish and Frey.
Right, we come now to the last of the weight categories, the plus 100 kilo category for men. The first of the bronze medal contests features Yuri Krakovetsky of Kyrgyzstan. He's up against Renat Saidov of Russia. It'll be Krakovetsky in the white judogi, Saidov in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Jean-Claude Jimby of France. But I'm reminded that Renat Saidov picked up an injury during the preliminaries and will not be able to take part in the bronze medal contest. So Yuri Krakovetsky comes out. He takes the bow. Tough job for the referee in the middle, this one.
Well, Krakovetsky, he came in as the #1 seed, didn't he, of this weight category, if I'm not right, was it?
Right, there you go. Jean-Claude Jimby has done his job. Krakovetsky rather sheepishly takes the bow and slightly embarrassingly leaves the tatami. Always a sad thing, isn't it? You know, you don't know whether to
it's hard. It's
cheer or celebrate. Abdullah Tangriev, just in the middle on the left of the screen. I was asking for him yesterday, and there he is, all done up in the tie, former heavyweight for Uzbekistan. Right, the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Ikhtior Khalmuratov of Uzbekistan faces Yerazal Kazibayev of Kazakhstan. It'll be Khalmuratov in the white judogi, Kazibayev in blue. What a nice little taster this is. And to referee this one in the middle, Roberta Chiolia of Italy. Loretta.
Yes, well, this is obviously the warm-up for the finale, really, because we've got an Uzbek in the final, Voltyboyev, which there's what, 2 chances of a medal, well, one a guaranteed medal. What colour? We've still got to wait and see, but there's the second chance of picking a bronze medal up here. Well, this crowd is definitely behind him. Khalmuratov looking to have a left hand on the lapels, quite strong and controlling at this moment. He's also got that sleeve grip. Attempts to Sutemi Waza there, draws his opponent down into the ground. Kazibayev tried to capitalize on that transition, trying to get past those legs. And for what we've seen so many times this weekend is the big mistake of getting caught in the osakumi. Khalmuratov, as you can hear, that crowd is there singing for you. But it's not picking up his spirits too quickly at this moment. But one Shido, but I think there could be one apiece. Oh, 2. My goodness me, I don't see where that one came from. They're very quick to get the second Shido for the Kazakhstan. Kazibayev. Khalmuratov there, as you can see, just defending quite nicely. Hasn't really put an attack in yet, but it's 2 Shidos to 1 if neither one of them attack. But there's the Osotogari. Yes, oh, what a score. Ippon Kazibayev stepped in very nicely on that and secured the bronze medal.
Not overly pleased with the result there, Khalmuratov, but he's still got to carry out the formalities and bow off, and Roberto Chioli just making sure that the big fella did that.
Yes, well, there you have it. Nice Osotogari, well controlled, no arguing in that one, definitely. Good throw for the big man. But it's not all over and done with. We're guaranteed at least a silver medal for Uzbekistan. But Oltiboyev will be going out for gold, there's no doubt about it, and he's had a really good performance here.
Well, that's what we said at the beginning of the program. We knew they were going to take at least one medal.
Yes.
Missed out on the bronze. They will be hoping now to make up for that by taking the gold medal in the upcoming contest. That's between Soslan Bostanov of Russia, Bekmurod Oltiboyev of Uzbekistan. It'll be Bostanov in the white judogi, Oltiboyev in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roberto Correa of Chile.
Well, Bostanov, as you can see, a lot more mature than his opponent, and but further down that world ranking list at 76 to where Oltiboyev is sitting at number 17. Now, Bostanov was someone that I had highlighted right at the beginning of the day of one to watch, and definitely was one to watch. He wasn't in the top 8 seeding coming into this plus 100 kilograms, but when you take a medal in The Hague at a prestigious event like that last year where it was a bronze medal, you've got to keep an eye on him. Oltiboyev, 5th in the World Championships and in the Asian Games, bronze medalist, and Hoyhot this year, a bronze medal, so he's picked up some very impressive results throughout the year. Bostanov straight out on the kill there with the Uchimata, a great start for the big man. Another Uchimata. Well, he seems to be making light work of that, doesn't it? That was a Wazari, and what a major surprise, really, for me, considering what we have seen with Oltiboyev throughout the day. He just seems to not be firing at the moment. He's come out half asleep here. Bostanov, that obviously overpowering physical maturity is becoming overwhelming here for the Uzbek.
I think the threat of Bostanov's throwing skills is also unsettling Oltiboyev. Bostanov has thrown everybody today. Oof. And he's threatening to throw Oltiboyev here.
Look at the size of those forearms as he throws that right hand over the left shoulder of Oltiboyev. Sienagi, oh, that was a good one. Well, we saw that against his teammate earlier on.
Well, this was one of the things that some of our team said to me earlier on. They thought that Bostanov would get caught with a low Sienagi.
Yeah, well, he went over quite nicely there, didn't he? He did well to avoid that, but the Wazari's on the board, and there's the Sienagi. Oh, yes!
And he does go over. That levels the scores. Osaikomi as well.
Oh, well, the crowds have erupted. Well, this is what you want to see. What a finale we're going to get here today. This is like the icing on the cake for us. What a lift!
Well, that was always the threat. We've just been talking about that. We weren't the only people to see that coming.
Yeah.
The only person that didn't see it coming was Bostanov.
Bostanov definitely didn't see that one coming. Now that's going to make him a little bit nervous as he throws that arm up. But look at the stare. Oltiboyev is just waiting for that arm to come over to hit him again.
Bostanov's got to stay concentrated here. If he looks at the scoreboard, he'll see that the advantage is with him. That's the thing.
Yes, that's all
Look
he's
at
got
your
to
coach.
say.
Just settle down. Take your time.
Yeah, that's all he's got to do.
Not sure what it is that they're looking at here.
A score?
Oh, yeah.
Counter.
Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Didn't see that one.
No, Wazari. Well, I saw it, but I didn't think he connected to the back of the shoulder. I thought it was to the front.
No, the crowd don't want it.
I don't think we want it either, to be honest.
Oh, he's called at Jimmy. We're on. We're on.
Wanted to see more of this. There's no doubt about it. I didn't want it to end there. It was very, very soft, wasn't it? There's no doubt about it.
Push down.
And I don't think it was in a technique that he was executing. I think he was just defending off the Sianagi.
Altiboyev can't afford to play the waiting game because he's picked up a Shido. Bostanov is doing exactly that.
He's got that high collar grip. He's got the Uchimata. We know it's very, very strong. But Altiboyev really has to get the big man moving. And this is the danger. He's sort of playing a waiting game. He's looking for that counter now.
Got to go now. He's got to go now. He left it too long for the Osai Komi. He has to tap out anyway.
Well, the big man was just too physically empowering over him.
Look at that look. He may need a security guard on the way out, Bostanov. Yeah, well, I'd calm down the celebrations a bit if I was Bostanov.
No, definitely. It's paying respects where respect is due.
Wait until you've bowed off and do all the posing you like then. Zaslan Bostanov. He threw everybody today, he really did. And then when the final came round, it was his turn to be on the receiving end. A brave effort from the slightly undersized Bekmurad Altiboyev. But good one. Good pick this morning as well from
was a really
Loretta
good pick,
Cusack-Doyle.
The picks were Graf, Bostanov, Akbulut of Turkey in the women's, which obviously didn't come to light. And triple
the arm lock
Edward.
finishes him off, actually.
Was it?
Yeah. He gets the Udigarami. Watch the figure 4. This is why he's tapping. There you go. It's on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He slipped it. He let go of the wrist.
So at this point,
it was there.
Yeah, it's there.
Udigarami was there, but...
And as he turns, he slips, but he's already caused the damage, and he taps. As soon as he's on his back, he taps. I think he's actually caused a bit of damage in there. He doesn't tap out the arm lock. He taps as a result of falling into the osso, wasn't, I think.
Well, he wasn't going anywhere, was he, really?
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the plus 78 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the IGF Education and Coaching Director, Mr. Mohamed Marija. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Marina Slutskaya of Belarus. There's a bronze medal too for Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine. Silver medal goes to Caroline Weiss of Germany. But the gold medal goes to Irina Kinzerska of Azerbaijan.
The prize money and the flowers will be presented by head coach of the national judo team of Uzbekistan and silver gold medalist.
G'oliblarni gul va sovg'alar bilan O'zbekiston milliy dzyudo jamoasining bosh murabbiyi, Jahon chempionatining kumush medal sohibi Farhad Turayev tabriklaydilar.
Farhad Turayev is presenting the prizes and the flowers.
for the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
And now the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and judokas.
Slutskaya and Kalanina were the bronze medalists. Weiss took the silver, but it was Kinzerska who took the gold medal. We'll be back with the awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo in a moment after some highlights.
Hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar, musobaqaning yakuniga ko'ra O'zbekiston bitta oltin medalni, 3 ta kumush medalni va bitta bronza medalni qo'lga kiritdi.
Dear spectators, now we're waiting for the last awarding ceremony for men over 100 kilograms.
Xonimlar va janoblar, 100 kilogramdan ortiq bo'lgan vazn toifasida erkaklarni taqdirlash marosimini kutmoqdamiz.
On the screen, you can see the highlights of today's final block.
Xonimlar va janoblar, musobaqamizning 3-kunining eng qiziqarli daqiqalarini monitorda kuzatishingiz mumkin.
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the plus 100 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the International Judo Federation competition manager, Dr. Lisa Allen.
By competition manager of the International Judo Federation, Dr. Lisa Allen. Bronze medalists are for Kazakhstan, Yerasil Kashibayev.
The first of the bronze medals goes to Yerashel Kazibayev of Kazakhstan. There's a bronze medal too for Yuri Krakovitsky of Kyrgyzstan.
Silver medalists for Uzbekistan.
Silver medal goes to Bekmurod Oltiboyev of Uzbekistan. But the gold medal goes to Zoslan Bostanov of Russia.
The prize money and the flowers will be presented by silver Olympic medalist and world champion.
G'oliblarni sovg'a bilan Olimpiya o'yinlarining kumush medal sohibi, jahon chempioni Abdulla Tangriyev tabriklaydilar.
The prize money and flowers are being presented by the Olympic silver medalist and former world champion Abdullah Tangriyev.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Russian Federation.
And now the national anthem of Russia. Zoslan Bostanov of Russia was the gold medalist. Bekmurod Oltiboyev took the silver, and there were bronze medals there for Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. We've got more judo for you when we bring you the Grand Prix from The Hague next week. This week it was Kosovo who topped the medal table with 3 gold medals, 3 for Azerbaijan, 2 for Mongolia, and 1 each for Germany, Uzbekistan, Austria, Russia, Slovenia, and Kazakhstan. We look forward to your company in The Hague next week. But from Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's
Goodbye from me.
bye-bye for now. Bye.
Dear spectators, this